with HITC Sport, and again, yeah, one of the last times I will ever say that. I mean, for those of you who missed yesterday's video, I'll quickly sum it up. It's been a great journey, but I'm only on HITC Sport for the next 2 weeks. I'm leaving on March 14th to then immediately switch over to my own football channel. By the way, lads, I really do appreciate all the nice messages on the last video, but you all kept saying, "Oh, we'll miss you, Irish guy." I mean, again, I'm not leaving YouTube. I cannot stress that enough, okay? I'm just switching channels on March 14th. But anyway, back into the video. Again, let's just crack on as usual. Right then, Premier League Gameweek 27. I think we've established I'm the king of predictions, right? And by king, I do of course mean swamp-dwelling goblin, who's about as clever as a bishop's knob. But anyway, let's have a crack at it. You are about to possibly watch the greatest set of predictions ever told. Right, let's go! Leicester versus Leeds. Yeah, what do you think Jamie Vardy is thinking right now? I mean, the guy has just returned from injury, and he's facing a Leeds United goalie who's picked the ball out of his own net 20 times in a month. I'm sorry, but in a million right now, probably has the self-confidence of Dudley Dursley. You know, that fat cousin of Harry Potter, who probably used to fill his lunchbox with about 7 muffins a day? Poor old Millier, honestly, right now, on Friday night, he's probably quivering inside a sleeping bag on his couch, just trying to psych himself up by watching YouTube videos of Buffon and Oliver Kahn. Anything to distract himself from the fact that in the year 2022, he's mostly shown the goalkeeping skill of a Rottweiler's fanny. And so yeah, I'm guessing that Vardy is probably eyeing up this underperforming French child the same way a sexually frustrated dentist eyes up a lion on a safari hunting trip. Right now, I'm guessing Vardy is like an excited little boy on Christmas Eve, except instead of getting a fat weirdo breaking into his house via the chimney, he's about to sniff out a hat-trick instead of an elderly man's ball bag. Honestly, Jamie Vardy, he's a bit like a wolf. He can smell blood, while Millier, right now is just one of the 3 little pigs. And no, I'm not talking about Little Mix. This entire Leeds project is built around the wacky brain of Marcelo Bielsa. So, what's poor old Jesse March going to do with this? Guys, well, these players are used to Bielsa mumbling in ancient Spanish. I mean, he's so old he probably writes the tactics up in hieroglyphics, allowing his Hobbit translator to try and get through to the players. But here, they've got the former left back for Princeton Tigers trying to introduce them to a completely new philosophy. I mean, this guy is going to bring defensive solidity, is he? Well, this season Bielsa watched his team concede 7 at the Etihad. Marsh watched his team concede 6 on a Champions League night with RB Leipzig. Both these men were literally picked apart by Jack Grealish. I mean, this is a guy whose career was literally drowning in Red Bull. From New York to Salzburg and finally Leipzig. That is 6 years of you being owned by a company who deal in false promises. I mean, am I wrong? Does it actually give you wings? I mean, a crippling headache in a case of the runs, maybe. But I'm sorry, if I jump off the top of my house having drunk a can of Red Bull, then no, I'm not going to be the Irish Superman. No, you're still going to be peeling my kidneys off the tarmac. But anyway, March, his last job outside the Red Bull franchise was finishing 12th in the MLS with Montreal Impact. I mean, clearly he had the impact of a sandwich filled with pig saliva. Come on, 12th in America when he had Alessandro Nesta at the back. This Leeds project will end in tears, so yeah, I'm gonna go for a 5-1 Leicester win. Jamie Vardy sniffing out a treble, just you watch. Aston Villa versus Southampton. Southampton usually do really well at Villa Park. I mean, on the last 3 visits to the ground, they've scored 11 goals. And chucking the fact that they are arguably one of the form teams in England in 2022. But I suppose Ralph Hasenhüttl is on one hell of a run. They've already won 8 games of football since Christmas. It's been some turnaround. Aston Villa, by contrast, just uninspiring. Instead, 2 wins since Christmas, with even the likes of Danny Ings looking about as threatening as a melted Toblerone. I mean, the smart money is on another Southampton win, which will probably make Steven Gerrard feel like biting off the inner lining of his cheek. As a proud Scouser, last thing he wants to do is lose to Liverpool's feeder club. Honestly, Villa are only 3 wins above the relegation zone. They need to be careful. Christ above, can you imagine if Stevie G gets relegated in management? I mean, can you imagine the songs, the abuse? Out of every manager in the league, he is the one who can't get relegated. He just can't. For his reputation. Because Chris, I mean, let's be real, are rival fans really going to be that bothered to mock old man Roy Hodgson or laugh at Dean Smith? Again, no, it's like pointing and laughing at a diabetic getting sick on his lap. It's just a bit sad. But Gerrard, he's an easy target. And it really would be sad to see a football legend subjected to the same fate as Steve Bruce. You know, morphing into the modern day Paul Ince, someone who I think by now everyone realizes has the tactics of a marmalade toasty. But sorry lads, I can see a 1-0 Southampton win via a Che Adams wonder goal. Sorry Villa fans, but it's going to be another frustrating afternoon of screaming at Ollie Watkins until you're blue in the face. Burnley versus Chelsea. Chelsea must be mentally exhausted. Since Christmas, this team have played 16 games of football, including 2 cup finals, both of which went extra time, one of which was in Wembley, the other one out the back arse of Abu Dhabi. You know, a stadium across the road from a camel being milked on a farm. Since Christmas, Chelsea have played 1,530 minutes of football, including against the champions of England, the champions of France, the champions of Asia, the champions of South America, oh yeah, and the champions of hipsters. That's almost like a meeting of the five families. The taxing mental exhaustion. Chuck in the fact they've also lost a penalty shootout, were nearly dumped out of the FA Cup by Plymouth and Luton. They lost their number one goalkeeper for a month. They're constantly trying to beg Antonio Rudiger to stay. Oh yeah, and the owner has announced he wants to sell. And their £100 million striker did that unhelpful Inter Milan interview before touching the ball 7 times against Crystal Palace. All of that was inside the last month. I mean, I'm guessing right now that Thomas Tuchel probably feels like the main character out of Fight Club. Honestly, the pressure, the stress. I wouldn't be surprised if he was now hallucinating in some waterlogged shack on the edge of Surrey. Maybe he's got a Tyler Durden alter ego and just choosing to punch himself in front of the bathroom sink. The last thing this mentally exhausted Chelsea team need now is a trip to Burnley. Not a rejuvenated, scrappy Burnley team. I mean, surely not. No! I mean, this is the club in the middle of a breakdown. I mean, this is the equivalent of Kanye West being let loose in Disneyland. I mean, no, the poor guy's so unpredictable right now, he'll probably just start throwing his poo at people from the top of Space Mountain. I think Burnley will take a point. Again, another match where Lukaku rots on the bench like a £100 million cheeseburger. Kai Havertz will stick Chelsea 1-0 up before Jay Rodriguez nicks a late 1-1 draw. Sorry lads, Newcastle versus Brighton. Here's a spoiler. Newcastle fans hate playing against Brighton and Hove Albion. Ever since that Mo Diame backheel fluke in February 2017, they've had absolutely no joy against Brighton, with Newcastle mostly looking like a big plate of expired cat food against the opposition. Honestly, it's embarrassing. Brace yourself. In the last 9 meetings between these teams, Newcastle have won 0 games, scoring just 2 goals. I'm sorry, Brighton have taken 7 clean sheets and 17 points from 9 games with Newcastle. That is horrific. And it gets worse. Brighton have never conceded a Premier League goal at St James's Park, and they've been in the league together for the last half a decade. That is so embarrassing I might actually cry. I mean, this isn't even a new thing. Even 10 years ago, Little League One Brighton dumped Newcastle out of the FA Cup 3rd round 2 seasons on the bounce. Again, 2 more Brighton clean sheets. In total, Brighton have kept 11 clean sheets in their last 16 meetings with Newcastle United, going all the way back to 1991. I mean, doesn't that just make you feel violently ill? Honestly, that record is woeful. I mean, Steve Bruce largely did not have a clue how to handle Graham Potter. I mean, in his first season against him, he managed to take 2 0-0 draws, giving Brighton 71% possession of the ball at St James's Park. That is unforgivable. You made a Brighton team with Dale Stevens in midfield look like Brazil, crazy up a 5-man defence against Brighton and Hove Albion at home. I mean, what are you scared of? That's like wearing a bulletproof vest when you go off to walk the dog. I mean, sorry, unless your name is Donald Trump, I don't think that's necessary. In his second season, he managed to lose 3-0 to Brighton twice. Honestly, he was more scared of Potter than Lord Voldemort. Crisp in the 4 meetings between Bruce and Potter, Newcastle had, on average, 37% possession of the ball. This game will be a marked improvement in Newcastle possession, and I'm gonna call it. I reckon St James's Park will see its first win over Brighton in nearly 6 years. I'll go for a 2-0 Newcastle win. Joe Willock will run the show, Spank it another goal. Sorry Brighton, you're not having a good afternoon here. Norwich versus Brentford. Oh, 2 promoted clubs. 2 clubs about to get relegated together, holding each other's hand as they slip back into the championship abyss. This is almost a sad watch because it's pointless. They are both going down. They say Dean Smith is doing a great revival job at Norwich. Oh, really? 9 defeats in the last 12 games is a great revival job? Similarly, Brentford, on 4, are the worst team in the division right now. 1 point for the last of April 24. Christ above. I'm going for a Norwich win. Dean Smith has to win this match against his old club and against his former coffee fetcher Thomas Frank. I'll go for a nervy, tense match, but yeah, a 1-0 Norwich win, which should see Frank sacked. Wolves versus Crystal Palace. Well, it is weird. In the last 5 meetings between Wolves and Crystal Palace, there's been a clean sheet in every single game. 3 for Wolves, 2 for Palace. So, clearly this is not going to be a score draw, right? There's only one winner here. Wolves are hunting down Champions League football. They've got Pedro Neto back, and Palace have just gone a little bit stale. So yeah, pretty comfy, 2-0 Wolves win. Next, Liverpool versus West Ham. West Ham have won 1 game at Anfield since 1963. I mean, what do you think is going to happen here? David Moyes has also never won at this ground, and he's been here with 4 different clubs, and Everton every season for more than a decade. This isn't going to be a fun trip for the Travelling Hammers fans. I'm sorry, but it's not. yeah, you're chasing down the top 4, but Liverpool have tunnel vision for the quadruple. Do you really think they're going to let Declan Rice and Jared Bowen stand in their way? Sorry lads, but Liverpool right now, just like they were in 2019, it's like they've just drank 17 cups of coffee on the toilet. They are ultra focused. They're almost like football's answer to the Terminator, just a ruthless winning machine. I'm sorry West Ham, but you are getting bulldozed off that pitch. Virgil van Dijk is probably going to pick up Mikel Antonio with a scruff of the neck and shove him down his shorts. And honestly, a live wire nuisance like Bowen will be easily dealt with. You know, like a babysitter sticking an ice cream eating child to sleep. Oh, this is going to be an easy Liverpool win. 3-0, done and dusted. Next, Watford versus Arsenal. Okay, listen, yes, Watford are the wet egg sandwich of a football team right now. But under Roy Hodgson, they've also kept clean sheets at Villa Park and Old Trafford. I mean, staring £100 million plus superstars in the face and refusing to concede a goal. Not too bad. I'm guessing after that Old Trafford draw, Ben Foster was doing cartwheels on his bed, was rubbing that Ronaldo shirt all over his face. So this could be a tough match. This is a typical ground where Arsenal could slip up, right? But no, I just think this will be one of those afternoons where the Arsenal children just click. This is going to be a virtual picnic for Emile Smith-Rowe and Bukayo Saka. Honestly, 3-0 Arsenal win. Man City versus Man United. Remember what I said about consecutive clean sheets? I mean, the Manchester derby is held up as one of the most mammoth games in English football, right? Both teams scoring handfuls of goals at either end of the pitch, right? No. The last 3 Manchester derbies have all ended in 2-0 wins for the away team. You have to go back to December 2019 to find the last time both these teams scored in the same match. Here's the good news, Man United. This fixture is usually won by the team away from home. I mean, since April 2015, the Manchester derby has been won by the home team just 3 times. And one of them was some irrelevant game in the goddamn League Cup. I mean, Juan Mata scored the winner. Does anyone remember that game? No, didn't think so. This fixture has been a massive Manchester disappointment for years. Because honestly, 2 Premier League home wins in 7 years of derbies. Which means that most people inside the ground watching a Manchester derby will have been gutted. Because this is the derby of tears. A 3-1 win for Man City at the Etihad in November 2018. And a 2-0 Man United win at Old Trafford 2 years ago. That's it. That's literally all it was. So all that would point to a Manchester United win this weekend, doesn't it? But pure logic would point to the fact that a team who couldn't even beat Watford at home will get absolutely slapped by Pep Ball. But logic does not apply to this fixture because last season, Man United came off the back of 2 consecutive 0-0 draws at Chelsea and Crystal Palace, while City were on a 15-game winning run, and yet 2-0 Man United win at the Etihad. This time last season, Man United failed to score a single goal against a team managed by Roy Hodgson, and the next week they go and win at the Etihad. I mean, that's the exact same script this time around too, because they also got a 0-0 against Hodgson last week. Logic does not apply to this fixture. First off, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer won at this ground, just 2 weeks after conceding 3 goals at Bramall Lane. Even on their way to 100 points in 2018, Man City still lost at home to Man United. You know, a week before they lost at home to West Brom. So you know what, I'm gonna go for another freak result. An away win, smash and grab. I mean, this is Ralph's finest hour. They'll soak with the pressure, sit back and yeah, grab a late 1-0 win via a Ronaldo header. Just you watch, lads. Manchester United are winning this match. Anyway, that's it for this episode. What do you think? Let me know your predictions in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, have a nice comment as always. I'll talk to you in a while.